The palace was an exhibition of flawless precision, an expanse of glass, light, and geometry crafted by minds that valued symmetry over comfort. Its corridors echoed with a silence so complete it felt enforced, as though even the air feared to move. This was the heart of the Andera system, domain of the Dragon Queen, where the Catherine people, ancient, blue-skinned, winged beings of immense strength, faced an enemy no weapon could touch. They named it Vorith syndrome, a sterile term for something deeply cruel. Their children were wasting away. They refused nourishment, not from illness, but from something far more elusive. Their bodies lingered while their spirits quietly withdrew. There is a familiar tragedy in civilizations that can cross galaxies yet fail to understand the quiet suffering of a child. Into this cold monument of despair walked Aaron Cole. He was no prophesied hero, no renowned specialist. He was 35, human, and employed as a janitor on an 11-month contract. His days were spent cleaning the Civithan fleet's orbital station, scrubbing alien dust from pristine floors while counting the days until he could send another credit transfer home to Earth. His daughter, Emma, was waiting there, growing older without him. On his 19th day working in the royal sector, Aaron found Princess Lyra. She sat before an elaborate spread of nutrient blends and exotic fruits, untouched. Her wings drooped lifelessly at her sides, her gaze distant. The courtiers whispered. Physicians hovered uselessly nearby. But Aaron didn't see a royal air. He saw something painfully familiar, the same hollow stillness he had seen in Emma when storms rattled their old apartment walls. Instead of calling for medical staff, Aaron sat down on the cold floor across from her. He unfolded a slice of leftover cafeteria pizza, greasy and stale. "I know it's not special," he said gently, his voice rough against the palace's polished quiet, "but it's mine. If you want it, you can have it." It wasn't nutrition he offered, it was choice. Lyra hesitated, then took a bite. In that moment, she didn't just eat. She reached back toward life. The spell shattered as the Dragon Queen arrived, her towering form radiating terror and authority. She demanded answers. Aaron didn't shrink. He spoke plainly. Lyra wasn't sick, he said. She was alone. The queen watched in stunned silence as her daughter finished the slice. Then the alarm sounded. 12 more children had collapsed in the outer districts. Whatever was happening, it was spreading. The emergency council convened in chaos. Fear filled the chamber, masked by authority and rigid logic. Counselor Atheris, marked in silver and known for her unwavering devotion to protocol, demanded data. She called for pathogen scans, genetic sequencing, invasive diagnostics, anything measurable, anything controllable. Aaron stood among beings who commanded fleets, his work-worn hands folded awkwardly at his sides. When he spoke, the room erupted. He suggested the cause wasn't biological at all. The sickness, he argued, began after the Relocation Initiative, a sweeping program that uprooted families in the name of efficiency. The children hadn't been damaged physically. They had lost their sense of home. "You're scanning their bodies," Aaron said, meeting their gazes without flinching. "Has anyone bothered to ask how they feel?" The question unsettled them. Emotion was an inconvenience in systems built on pure logic. Yet the Dragon Queen remembered the pizza. She remembered the spark in Lyra's eyes. Against the council's protests, she overruled tradition. Aaron was appointed to lead an experimental initiative. No instruments. No injections. Just companionship. For weeks, Aaron became a constant presence. He played handheld games with a quiet boy named Vaughn. He shared sandwiches. He sat through long silences until they slowly transformed into stories. The children spoke of rain, of family meals, of places that smelled alive. They were mourning what had been taken from them. Understanding this, Aaron made a proposal that shocked the council: move the children out of the sterile wards. Send them back, to the outer colonies, to the unoptimized worlds they came from. The transport to Vera felt like stepping into color after years of gray. The colony breathed. It smelled of soil and salt, alive with bioluminescent vines and uncontrolled growth. Life there was messy, and real. The change was immediate. Lyra devoured pastries made by village elders. Vaughn laughed with his father again. The children didn't merely stabilize. They awakened. But miracles invite resistance. Counselor Atheris saw the success not as hope, but as threat. At dawn, enforcement ships descended on Vera. Regulations in hand, weapons primed. She accused Aaron of recklessness, of endangering royal subjects with unregulated food and uncontrolled environments. Compassion without competence is arrogance, she declared, preparing to arrest him. The air grew heavy. The Dragon Queen arrived, not as diplomat, but as mother. She placed herself between her daughter and the enforcement squad, wings spread wide, eclipsing the sun. The Queen dismantled Atheris's accusations with devastating clarity. The raid, she revealed, was never about safety. It was fear of a truth the Council couldn't regulate. Hope is not a treatment plan, Atheris insisted, desperation cracking her voice. No, the Queen replied, her words carrying the gravity of collapsing stars. But it is a reason to live. The return to the palace was subdued. Atheris demanded a formal tribunal, seeking to strip Aaron of authority and the Queen of credibility. The trial was staged as spectacle, protocols recited, failures buried beneath years of rigid adherence. Aaron stood alone, human and small among alien titans. He offered no legal argument. Sometimes, he said quietly, people don't need fixing. They need someone who cares enough to stay. The Queen presented the data. Every child under Aaron's care had improved. Not marginally. Completely. Their vitals surged beyond predictive models. Growth returned. Engagement flourished. The room turned. Applause began from an elderly grandmother in the gallery and grew into a wave that drowned Atheris's protests. Aaron wasn't removed. He was promoted, named Director of Family Integration. 6 months later, the palace felt transformed. Once silent halls rang with laughter. The medical wing became a community space. Life returned. Aaron stood on a balcony, watching Lyra chase Vaughn through the gardens. He held a cup of warm tea, content, but incomplete. A part of his heart still belonged to a red-haired girl on Earth. The Queen joined him, her regal edges softened by gratitude. I received a transmission, she said gently. 2 weeks later, the transport doors opened. Emma stepped out. Aaron barely had time to breathe before she ran into his arms. The embrace grounded him more than gravity ever could. As Emma and Lyra disappeared into the gardens, laughing without effort, the Queen and the janitor stood side by side. You reminded me, she said softly, that power without compassion is tyranny wearing a crown. In the end, it wasn't technology that saved the Catherine people. It wasn't gene edits or synthesized compounds. It was something painfully simple, a slice of stale pizza and the courage to sit beside someone in their darkest moment. The Andera system learned what countless civilizations forget in their pursuit of efficiency: survival without connection is not living. Aaron remained at the palace, shaping a future built around family and belonging rather than control. Programs shifted. Policies softened. The empire endured, not stronger through force, but through understanding. And somewhere between worlds, 2 children ran freely, proving that sometimes, the smallest acts reshape the largest systems.